Long ago, in a land of rolling meadows, deep forests, and tranquil lakes, there stood a great castle. Its stone towers rose high into the clouds. Its wooden gates were thick and strong. Brightly colored flags flew from every turret. Our story begins on a beautiful spring day. The castle's drawbridge was wide open, and the people of the town streamed into the broad courtyard within. Inside the castle, a big celebration was getting underway. Knights in golden armor leaped from their horses, magicians performed feats of wonder, and a jester, wearing a hat with bells, greeted guests at the castle's entrance.
Hello, hello, welcome to the Great Adventures Castle. Well, don't just stand there, come on in. We've been waiting for you. You're just in time for the party and for a big adventure. By the way, I'm the King's Jester. That's a sort of official clown. I work for the Gold King, Good King Macduff. They always blow the trumpets whenever I say Good King Macduff. So I try my best never to say Good King Macduff. Oops, I said it again. I've got to stop saying Good King Macduff. Oh, maybe I should just stick to juggling. By my bells, it looks like the whole town is coming to the party. The Gold Knights will all be here. You know, the Gold Knights are close personal friends of mine, and speaking of the Gold Knights, here comes Sir Mount.
A bold knight on a prancing white steed came riding up to the castle gates.
Jester, let these people in. The feast is about to begin.
Hold your horses, Sir Mount. I'm welcoming them as fast as I can.
Well, just be sure they don't miss my speech. I've been practicing it all day. Ahem. My fellow knights, a man's horse is his castle.
Oh, that's very good, Sir Mount. Now, don't you think you'd better be going inside? It wouldn't do for you to be late.
Well said, Jester. Giddy up, Bruno.
You never see Sir Mount off his horse, you know. Of course, if I could ride as well as Sir Mount, well, I'd... Oh, look! Here comes Sir Cyclone.
Indeed, just then Sir Cyclone suddenly appeared. Sir Cyclone always appeared suddenly, for he was the fastest knight in the kingdom. He spun around like a tornado and moved over the ground at an incredible speed.
Quickly, Jester! Have you seen Sir Mount?
Why, yes, Sir Cyclone. He went that way.
Thank you! I must hurry and catch him! Avante, pronto, rapido, alego con brio!
That's Sir Cyclone. He's always in a hurry. Of course, if I could move 100 miles an hour like him, well, I'd... Oh, here comes another of my close personal friends, Sir Elasto.
Sir Elasto was a truly unusual knight. He could stretch himself into any shape he desired, for he seemed to be made of rubber.
Jester! Oh, stop jabbering at the castle gate! We must make ready for Good King Macduff!
Sir Elasto, have you noticed that little fanfare each time we mention Good King Macduff?
You mean the trumpets that sound out whenever we say the name Good King Macduff?
Yes, that fanfare, whichever follows the name of Good King Macduff.
No, can't say as I've noticed. But here comes Sir Shield in Hand. Why don't you ask him?
Sir Shield in Hand was famous throughout the land for the two great shields he always carried. The bright metal dazzled everyone.
What ho! Elasto, why are you dawdling out here with the jester? We must hurry in or we shall miss the arrival of King Macduff.
Right you are! We must be there to welcome King Macduff. I say, have you noticed any trumpets playing lately?
Trumpets? No, should I? Can't think why there'd be any trumpets about.
Me neither! I don't know what made me think of it.
Sir Elasto is one to talk, and Sir Shield in Hand, too. Why, if I could stretch like that or carry two heavy shields, well, I'd... Hold on a minute. There's the King's Herald. The King himself must be coming.
Make way for His Majesty, Good King Macduff!
If I were the king, I would get pretty tired of that fanfare. I should mention that to him sometime. Oh, the king and I are just like brothers, you know. Why, we even look alike. Oh, sure. So he's tall and I'm short, and he has a red beard and I have no beard at all, and he wears a crown and I wear this silly hat with bells, and he's a king and I'm a jester, but other than that, I could eat for Good King... Oh, what? No, you don't. I didn't finish saying Good King Macduff. Well, we'd better hurry inside. We don't want to miss anything. Come on in.
In the castle, knights are brave, we save a person in distress. In the castle.
King Macduff walked down the tower steps, the sun glistening on his perfect golden armor.
Welcome, one and all, to the Great Adventures Castle. Join in the song, for today we celebrate...
In the castle, the tables heaped with things to eat. There's lemonade and flagons in the castle. In the castle, the moat is deep, and knights will keep an eye out for the dragon.
Lords and ladies, presenting the King's Royal Wizard, McWiz.
Suddenly, there was a huge explosion of smoke, and an old man wearing a tall, pointed hat appeared before the king. In his hands was a small, white rabbit.
I am McWiz, the greatest wizard of the age. Now, before your very eyes, I shall turn this cute, cuddly little bunny rabbit into a fierce dragon.
No dragons, wizard. We want to celebrate today, not battle a dreaded foe.
But your majesty, just one little dragon, maybe a cute baby dragon. Please, pretty please.
No dragons. Now, get on with the song, please.
So knock on the door. We'll lower the gate. Walk right in. Don't hesitate. At the Great Adventures Castle, don't be late. Let's celebrate.
Lords and ladies, presenting those who keep our kingdom from harm, the Golden Knights.
One by one, the Gold Knights strode to the center of the great hall and accepted the applause of the people they protected.
Sir Mount, Sir Cyclone, Sir Shield in Hand, Sir Elasto, and the great Sir Liftalot. Sir Liftalot.
Oh, Sir Liftalot is the strongest knight in the kingdom. I'm sure he's just fine. Why don't we all just finish the song?
In the castle, the cannons roar and boulders soar and black knights run away. And everyone has lots of fun, so won't you come and stay? In the castle, we're having so much fun.
Gee, that sounded kind of like a dragon. But there couldn't be any dragons so near the castle.
It's a dragon!
But where is our friend, Sir Liftalot?
Yes! Where there's a dragon, there is trouble for gold knights.
Sir Liftalot is the mightiest knight of all. He's not troubled by a puny dragon.
He's in trouble.
I'm sure there's a perfectly good explanation for that cry of help!
We must find out what has happened to Sir Liftalot. I will send my speediest knight, Sir Cyclone. And you, Jester, since you are so certain Sir Liftalot is in no danger, go with him and report back to me.
Me, sire?
Him, sire?
The jester? But he's not a knight.
He's a clown in a silly hat with bells.
Oh, posh. What does a mere jester know about fighting battles?
Yes. Leave the battles to us, your majesty.
We're the heroes here.
Gold Knights! Roar!
No jesters, no jesters!
I have made up my mind. The jester will go.
Well, you're the king. Come along then, Jester.
And with that, Sir Cyclone, twirling like a twister, picked up the jester and rushed out of the castle.
Ooh, I'm getting dizzy!
Outside the castle was a dark and forbidding forest. The trees grew so closely together, even Sir Cyclone had to slow down to make his way through.
Ooh, now that's what I call going for a spin.
Could you stop those bells from jingling, Jester? If we have any enemies out here in these woods, they'll hear you coming for miles.
Well, this wasn't my idea. They should have sent a brave gold knight like Sir Shield in Hand. No one would hear him coming.
Sir Cyclone and the jester pushed on through the woods until they spotted the camp of their arch-enemies, King Smudge and his naughty knights. These naughty knights had once been great knights, but they had fallen into evil ways. Now they took their pleasure by playing in the mud, tripping innocent bystanders, never cleaning their rooms, and other such horrible deeds. Staying out of sight, Sir Cyclone and the Jester carefully made their way to a hiding place on a hill overlooking the camp.
Look, Sir Cyclone. The naughty knights have captured Sir Liftalot and chained him up.
Alas, it was true. Sir Liftalot, the strongest knight in the kingdom, was wrapped from head to foot in thick metal chains with heavy locks. The naughty knights watched as he tried in vain to escape, his mighty muscles rippling and bulging.
Oh, well, you know he works out.
But it was useless, for the chains and locks that bound Sir Liftalot were magical. King Smudge, looking every inch the villain in his sleek red and black armor, stood in front of his prisoner, took a deep breath, and laughed.
Good laugh, sire.
Excellent laugh. Top notch.
That was a pretty good evil laugh, wasn't it? I've been practicing, you know.
You had us shaking. Didn't he have a shaking, boys?
Scared the daylights out of me.
I'm terrified, all right.
How about you, Sir Liftalot? Aren't you afraid now that I, King Smudge, and my naughty knights have captured you?
I, the strongest, mightiest, most revered of the Gold Knights? I, the legendary Sir Liftalot? I... Could you repeat the question?
Can't remember.
Hasn't got a lot upstairs.
Involvement, you ask me.
Oh, forget your old question. I did. But you just wait. When I get out of these chains, Well, I can't remember what I'll do, but when I do remember, I'll do it. And I promise when I remember to do whatever it is I'm going to do, you won't like it one bit.
Come on! Go on, Sir Liftalot. Try your hardest to escape. There's a magic chain, sir. Can't get out no matter how hard he tries. How is that one?
Scary, Your Majesty.
Yes, scary. That's me. Oh, why, I even scare myself.
Every time you look in the mirror.
Very funny, Sir Liftalot, but not as funny as watching you walk right into my trap. I sent the dragon to lure you out of the castle. I knew that you would try to capture him single-handedly. You're always trying to prove you can do things all by yourself.
What school of knighthood did he graduate from?
Amateur.
I would have caught your ugly old dragon if all of you hadn't surrounded me.
Our teamwork is a beautiful thing. And now, you are my prisoner.
Hidden on the hilltop above, Sir Cyclone's face was grim.
It's true. Sir Liftalot is always getting into trouble because he won't wait for his fellow Gold Knights to join him. His Majesty is forever telling Sir Liftalot that being a good knight means working together. He never listens.
Or remembers. Suddenly, the sky above them darkened. The air was filled with the whoosh of giant wings. An enormous green dragon circled high above, then slowly descended toward the camp. Sir Cyclone and the Jester dropped beneath a bush to hide.
It's the old dragon. And if he sees us, we're in ye old big trouble. Get down.
The huge, scaly lizard shook the earth as he landed. King Smudge strode forward to welcome Bernie, his faithful dragon.
Bernie! Nice landing. You look good, Bernie. Doesn't he look good, man?
Oh, yes. Never looked better.
Nice shine on the
Oh,
scales.
very nice.
Sir Liftalot, tell Bernie how good he looks.
Frankly, he looks a little tired. In fact, he's positively dragon. Get it? Dragon who's dragon?
Bernie lowered his pointed green face to eye Sir Liftalot up close.
Is he making fun of me? Sounds like he's making fun of me. That's not nice. Now, Bernie, don't get angry. Last time you got angry, you burned down the whole camp.
The dragon lifted his head and sent forth a long stream of smoke.
He hurt my feelings. Oh, no, don't cry, Bernie. You'll put the fire out. I knew what would cheer you up. A little revenge. It always does wonders for me. Now, pay attention, Bernie. You're going to like this. Sir Liftalot, stand on your head.
Suddenly, Sir Liftalot, chains and all, flipped mightily onto his head and balanced there, his legs waving in the air.
Ooh! How did you make him do that? He is bound with magic chains. As long as Sir Liftalot is trapped in them, he must do everything I say. Oh, goody, goody, goody. You ain't seen nothing yet. Sir Liftalot, go to that tree. No, get on your feet first. Now, Sir Liftalot, pull that tree out of the ground.
Sir Liftalot obediently lifted a 100-foot-tall tree out of the ground, roots and all. It was a bit heavy, even for him.
Timber!
The tree landed squarely on King Smudge's tent.
Oh, that was my best tent, too. Oh, well, easy come, easy go. Okay, Sir Liftalot, stand on your left foot.
And Sir Liftalot stood on his left foot.
Hop up and down 3 times, then stop.
And Sir Liftalot did just as he was ordered.
So, what do you think, Bernie? How about it, men? Isn't this great? The world's mightiest knight will do anything I say.
Excuse me, son. Will he do windows? Wash clothes? You know, will he do chores? Because we hate doing chores.
We'd rather not He'll do anything we tell him.
Watching from their hiding place, Sir Cyclone and the Jester knew they had heard enough.
He must be stopped.
You're telling me that laugh of his is giving me a terrible headache.
We must return to the castle immediately. Come, Jester.
Here we go again!
The Cyclone and the Jester hurried back to the castle, where good King Macduff listened to their report with concern.
Knights, we need a plan. It must be a brilliant plan that contains the elements of surprise and bravery. Yes, it must include bravery and surprise. And a little swordplay. Yes, that's very good. Bravery, surprise, and swordplay, and something else. What was the other thing? Oh, yes, teamwork. The most important thing is teamwork. Bravery, surprise, swordplay, and above all, teamwork. Does anyone here have such a plan?
Well, I say we storm the camp, rain down suddenly from the trees, and...
No, that won't work. Stretch their forces to the limit. Surround them on all sides.
No, we ride in on horseback. Bruno will back me up on this.
I know. We'll all appear in a puff of smoke in the middle of their camp.
Let me do it. I can handle it all by myself. Stop talking, all of you. You're forgetting about teamwork. The only way we'll be able to rescue Sir Liftalot from King Smudge and his naughty knights is by working together. Now, are you with me?
Yes, all the way, sire. Count on us.
Good. Now, here's the plan. We will rush into the enemy camp, surprise them, engage them in swordplay, then force them to retreat toward the lake beyond the forest. Sir Cyclone.
Here.
You will blow down any trees that get in our way. Sir Mount.
Here.
You will follow Sir Cyclone, riding on the path he blows clear for you. Sir Shield in hand. Sir Shield in hand. Sir Shield in hand.
Here.
You're tardy, Sir Shield in hand. What's your excuse?
The dog ate my homework.
You don't have a dog.
Oh, yes. I'd need a dog, wouldn't I?
Sir Shield in hand. You will confuse the enemy with the sunlight reflecting from your shields. Do you think you can manage that?
Righto, Your Majesty.
McWhiz?
Yes, sire?
You will create tremendous fireworks to distract their attention.
Oh, I love doing fireworks. Now, would you like some nice magenta pinwheels or a big blue flag? Or how about a spectacular bowl of spaghetti sort of thing?
McWhiz, I don't care what you create with the fireworks as long as they make a lot of noise. Now then, Sir Elasto.
Your Majesty?
You will stretch around their camp until you have the enemy completely surrounded.
Understood, sire.
Do you all know the plan?
Yes.
Good. Working as a team, I know we can beat the naughty knights. Now, let us prepare for battle.
Your Majesty?
Yes, Jester, what is it?
I was just curious what my part of the plan was.
You? Can you run like Sir Cyclone?
No.
Stretch like Sir Elasto?
Not really.
Do magic?
I know a few tricks. Take this chain.
The Jester handed the king a strong metal chain and a big, heavy lock.
Now, wrap it around my hands. Go on, nice and snug. Now, lock this lock onto the chain so it will be completely impossible for me to escape. Now, everyone, close your eyes and count to 3. 1, 2, 3... And poof! I am free! Well, almost free.
Squirm and twist with all his might, the jester was unable to escape from the chains.
Why don't you just stay behind, Jester, or we may have to rescue Sir Liftalot and you. The dragon! Hurry, Gold Knights! We must rescue Sir Liftalot! Come on!
Hurry up, let's go! Where's my horse? Where's my shields?
The jester watched helplessly as the Gold Knights rushed off to rescue Sir Liftalot. Then he went to see the castle locksmith, who had a big ring with a great many keys on it. The locksmith tried several different keys until he found one that opened the lock on the jester's chains. As soon as he was free, the jester ran out of the castle and headed for King Smudge's camp. Deep in the forest, the king and his Gold Knights marched steadily onward. Finally, they reached the hill overlooking King Smudge's camp, where they stopped for a moment to catch their breath and plan their attack.
It looks quiet down there. Too quiet if you ask me, Your Majesty.
I agree, Sir Cyclone. The naughty knights appear to be just standing around. Well, we certainly have the element of surprise. Let's swoop down on them, men!
With that, the Gold Knights charged down the hill and into battle. Sir Mount and Bruno led the charge.
Charge!
Sir Cyclone whooshed through the camp, scattering tents and tent poles everywhere. McWhiz created massive fireworks in the sky. So shield in hand, the sun reflecting off his shields in dazzling rainbow colors ran wildly here and there, while Sir Elasto stretched around the perimeter, surrounding the entire area. Fearlessly, the Gold Knights poured over the camp, but the naughty knights remained silent and still in their armor, their visors shut, shields at their sides. Sir Shield in hand strode up to a fierce-looking knight and pushed him hard in the chest.
Take that, you naughty knight!
Oh, look at that. He fell right over. Wait a minute. Something's amiss here.
The suit of armor was completely empty. In fact, all the suits of armor were empty. Not one naughty knight was in the camp. The Gold Knights pushed past the empty tents and marched bravely on. On to the farthest edge of the forest and beyond. They marched until they reached the shores of a lake, where...
Oh, my, it can't be!
It's horrible!
Horrible!
Yes, King Smudge and his naughty knights were all in the lake, splashing and diving and swimming about in their undershorts and long johns. Knights have to wear something under all that armor, you know. Even Bernie, the fierce dragon, was doing belly flops, tossing up huge waves.
Marco!
Polo!
Marco!
Polo! For those of you who aren't sure, Marco Polo was not only a famous Italian explorer who first brought spaghetti to Europe, but his name is used in an amusing little water game where one person is it and everyone else...
Get on with the story, man. It's freezing in here.
Right. Well, cold as he was, King Smudge was not about to get out of the water. He was sure that no one would ever fear him once they saw the cute little red hearts on his undershorts. Suddenly, he had an idea. He would scare them away with his evil laugh. But the Gold Knights didn't budge.
Not scared, huh?
Nope, afraid not. Nope, not a bit. Nope, not scared. No.
Then King Smudge had another idea.
I'll stick my fire-breathing dragon on you. What do you say to that?
Sounds a bit dangerous.
I could be worried.
Now, Bernie, chase away King Macduff and his foolish knights with your all-powerful breath of fire!
The Gold Knights raised their shields up, knowing that Bernie, the ferocious dragon, was about to let loose with a huge blast of fire.
Bernie, what was that tiny puff of smoke? What's wrong?
Sorry, boss. I guess I got sort of wet playing Marco Polo with all you swell fellows, and my pilot light went out. If you like, I could call them mean names.
Oh, never mind.
Then King Smudge had his biggest, baddest idea of all. Sir Liftalot was still bound in the magic chains and had to follow King Smudge's orders.
Sir Liftalot, the mightiest knight in the kingdom, Sir Liftalot, come on down!
The strongest knight in the kingdom stepped out from behind a tree at the edge of the lake.
Look, it's Lifty!
Good to see you.
Oh, you all right? Good to see you. Hiya, fellas. I think King Smudge is going to order me to do battle with you, and as long as I'm locked up in these magic chains, I'll have to do it. I'm really sorry. I'm so strong and everything.
Yeah, he's pretty strong.
I don't know if we can take him.
Maybe we ought to surrender.
Maybe we did.
Just then, they heard a familiar sound. The jester arrived, bells a-jingling, and rushed straight over to Sir Liftalot.
Why, look! It's our own brave, strong Sir Liftalot. I'm so glad to see they haven't harmed you. Have those naughty knights treated you well? No, it's no use trying to hide it, I can tell. You missed your breakfast and a couple of workouts. King Smudge, you and your men should be ashamed. Why, I've half a mind to...
Silence!
Well, guess I'll be getting along now. I certainly wouldn't want to interrupt the proceedings.
Now, where was I before I was distracted by all that darn jingling? Oh yes, Sir Liftalot, I order you to do battle with my enemies, the Gold Knights, and drive them from the land.
But King Smudge was in for a big surprise, for Sir Liftalot did not budge an inch. And as he stood there, the magic chains fell into a heap on the ground. Then the brave Liftalot turned to his friends.
Gold Knights, I thank you for coming to my rescue.
Oh, it was nothing really.
Just doing our job.
But I owe a special debt of thanks to the jester, who freed me from the magical chains.
What? The jester?
He did? Oh, it was nothing. You should really thank my friend the locksmith. He lent me this ring of keys. All I had to do was figure out which one fit the lock on Sir Liftalot's chains. Everybody thought the jingling of the keys was the bells on my hat.
I say, Jester, well done.
Oh, thank you, your majesty.
You certainly turned out to be a valuable member of the team. Wouldn't you agree, Knights?
Oh, I don't know.
He's not a knight, really, a jester.
But he did save Lifty.
Yeah, we all did.
Well, he was part of the team.
Let's hear it for the jester!
I hope you will all remember that teamwork is the best plan. Especially you, Sir Liftalot. Next time you want to chase after a dragon, wait for the rest of us.
I can remember that, I think.
And now I believe King Smudge and his men will be leaving our fair kingdom. Right.
No problem.
Right on. Until next time, Macduff, I'll be back.
Careful there, sire. Swallowed some of the lake, did you?
And so, victorious, King Macduff and his gold knights all returned to the Great Adventures Castle.
And if I know my knights, the first thing they'll do is sing a big victory song. I hope you'll join in and sing along.
Sing hey for the knights of the castle, sing ho for the knights of the castle. Hey nonny nonny, we're bold and we're brawny, sing hey for the knights of the castle. If a dragon attacks, we'll be there, and soon he'll be back inside his lair. We'll work out a plan and show up in a bunch. We'll fight with great courage, then break for lunch. We'll fight with great courage, then break for lunch. Sing hey for the knights of the castle, sing ho for the knights of the castle. Hey nonny nonny, we're bold and we're brawny, sing out for the knights of the castle.
No, sing out is just an expression. It means, sing out. It doesn't mean sing out.
Well, make up your mind. Do you want me to sing out, or don't you?
Just sing.
Sing hey for the knights of the castle, sing ho for the knights of the castle. Hey nonny nonny, we're bold and we're brawny, sing hey for the knights of the castle. We'll rescue anyone in distress and take them home if they know their address. We're brave and we're true, loyal and strong. And now comes our favorite part of the song. Sing hey for the knights of the castle, sing ho for the knights of the castle. Hey nonny nonny, we're bold and we're brawny, sing loud for the knights of the castle.
No, don't sing loud.
What? You want me to sing softly, then?
I don't want you to sing softly. Just don't sing loud.
Not loud. Not soft. Medium, then. You want me to sing medium?
Yes, fine. Sing medium.
Medium!
No! Oh, never mind. Just sing the big ending with the rest of us.
Sing hey for the knights of the castle, sing ho for the knights of the castle. Hey nonny nonny, we're bold and we're brawny, sing hey, sing ho.
right?
That was perfect!
If you'd like to hear the story again, just turn the tape over.